Let's talk about what is the difference. What is the difference between Japanese culture or Japanese manners and American manners? Now you are living in Okinawa. What are you surprised or are you surprised? What are you not used to it still now? Tell me anything.
What Japanese culture surprised you?
I will probably start with just a level of respect in Japanese culture. It's extremely high compared to America. It took a little bit to get used to, but I'm used to it now, and like I'm very cautious of how like I am around, especially certain Japanese people.
Yes.
But it's something that I definitely admire compared to my culture. Right? An example could be like if I go to McDonald's in America and order something, maybe they're just gonna throw the food at me. But when I come here, I feel like I'm the president walking into McDonald's. Like the level of customer service and respect is it's almost too high coming for us.
It's strange.
You feel very valued to like be there. It's almost like even if, for example, McDonald's again, the workers there are it's almost like it's their business. That's how much respect and customer service they have.
At the same time, everyone or customers also respect the waiter or waitress.
Yes.
So it's kind of, like you say, it's very good and high hospitality when you order like a French fry and then just a little bit ketchup. Or it's just small. Or do you
Wing size isn't
much more ketchup, or do you have like some programs or?
It's different, but you get used to it, honestly. I think in America we do have big portion sizes, and that's not always good for you.
It's good.
It takes time getting used to it, but once you're used to it, I guess it makes sense. Then it becomes normal.
I think like with like the ketchup thing, for example, it does make sense in the long run. I think it really helps prevent food waste as well. And opposed to like, from an American perspective, even if you're in a military base, like if you ask for ketchup, they might just give you a handful and put it in a bag. Which like one or two, just to help prevent that waste.
I think like with food waste, another thing, it feels wrong to not eat everything that you're served. If you're at like a restaurant, I feel more like concerned here that would be in the States not to finish my meal. It almost just feels disrespectful.
Okay.
Because again, there's more that like the hospitality and stuff, like I just don't eat what they serve to me. I'm not very thankful for the hospitality they're providing, how respectful they are about things. It's like a difference I've noticed.
I definitely relate to that. Having local Japanese friends and initially not finishing my meal was something that I learned very fast. It's not really accepted. Now I make sure that I'm more cautious to not order too much food as well.
What about when you go out as a group? Japanese people tend to make a payment at the same time.
It depends on the group of people. Sometimes we feel bad for not paying for our own food. So sometimes when I go out with a group of friends, if I get to the cash register first, I'll just pay for everybody. Sometimes they're like, no, please let me pay for like my portion, because we all had a portion. We all want to pay for ourselves and not just one person. It feels kind of rude to expect one person to pay when I ordered stuff.
It's like similar, but more of a not trusting sort of way. Maybe if you're the person who pays and people say they'll pay you back, but then they never do.
Okay.
Well, in that case, I don't want to pay for all of your meals and then you forgot or you didn't want to pay for it, so you let me pay for the whole thing. Well, why don't we just all pay separately so that we don't have to worry about it later?
Okay.
But, I guess it's more convenient, obviously, when one person pays, but it's awkward when, like, someone says, oh, I got it, you'll have the next one or something.
Yeah.
Well, what if there's not a next one? We don't go to a restaurant for a while, and now I feel like I owe you for, like, my portion. And it's just, I don't really like having that, like, on my conscience, like, oh, I never paid. It's easier when you all pay separately.
Yeah.
But, got any thoughts?
I would say I like the style of separating from our culture, but I have experienced sometimes in Japan where maybe the restaurant may not actually offer that service too, so I don't think it's all too common here. And then I've also experienced sometimes where my coworkers they don't know Japanese, so they don't want to cause too much more trouble, so they will just pay,
Uh,
just to avoid like the confusion.
Yeah.
anything else that you not used to it?
I would say that a new one for most people coming here is probably bowing. I think I bow all the time now, at least.
Yeah.
Initially, it was a little bit to take in, but now it's like second nature, especially working with other Japanese locals. You kind of feel inclined, even in the convenience stores. In America, we maybe bow at the end of a performance, and that's it.
Yeah. Most people go their whole lives without bowing. That's like one thing for me. I've been here a year and I still don't feel like confident in like bowing. Like, I don't want to like overdo it. And it's like, well, he was this silly American at the Lawsons or something. So I kind of like what he kind of just go down a little bit, but I don't know if it's enough. I don't know if it's visible. Usually I like to speak more with my hand, like, oh, thank you very much and stuff. But it's something that's interesting about the cultural difference, and it's shows more appreciation than just thank you. Just walking out with something that's just completely like emotionless and like, do they really mean it?
I would say what kind of like shocked me, the care, if I go to like the supermarket, the care that is taken with my items be placed into like a bag or like back into the basket. I don't really see that in America. It's like you put it there and they kind of like, they'll try to separate things, but they'll just throw them in a bag, whereas I see them strategically place things certainly so that nothing is smushed. If you pick up an item and maybe it's slightly damaged, like a bottle and it has a little dent, they'll be like, oh no, let me change it out. We don't do that in America. It's like, nope, this is what you want, this is what you get, honestly. And
Oh,
just
your eggs?
the care that they show to like your items even that you're purchasing was unexpected for me, but I really like it and I wish everybody would do it and we could all just adopt that, honestly.
Okay. Sometimes you feel Japanese people bow too much, or
I don't know. I think I've adapted, and I
Yeah.
do too much too.
Yeah, I think I do the same.
Even if
Yeah.
I'm like cutting someone from the car, and
All the time. Someone out like they flash me like their hazards. I don't even know if they can see me, but I try and like bow like, oh, you're welcome
Oh, yeah.
and stuff.
The hazards for getting into like the thank you hazards. That's new. I really like it. I try to do it.
Yeah, no, people just cut you off in the States. They don't care. It's, even if you let them in, they just like, cool,
and
thanks.
no
and they
blink or
leave.
anything. But he'll probably go to the States and do it, and somebody's like, why?
I think in America the most we have is like, if you're going to like once you get in front of them, you just put your
you
hand
can
up,
put your hand
No,
up.
and they'll
Yeah.
see you from.
I don't know that hazard thing.
Never saw that in the U.S. at all.
Mm.
You overseas again, them just cutting you off.
Sometimes when I get caught up here and they don't do it, like, I feel a little hurt.
Yeah, it's like,
honestly.
you've been tricked.
Anything else?
Getting used to, I have a Japanese style apartment. I don't have an oven. Having to get used to not cooking with an oven. It was hard.
How do you do it?
You just don't make stuff in an oven, or I guess you have to buy like a kind of microwave
A little
type
toaster oven.
separately. But in America, your place will come with an oven. It's like, oh, I want to bake this or I want to cook this. My place already has an oven. But here, I'm like, oh, I would like to bake this or cook this, but I don't have an oven. I can't do that. One of my coworkers, his wife likes to make banana bread. I love banana bread, but I can't bake it. I was always asking him, hey, can your wife make me some banana bread, please? But you get used to it, honestly. Yeah, you get used to it.